Angeles chicks mine too. I left X, Y, and Z. I went AFK, and there was a guy in VC. He was recording, and it was Ozzy, Wehan, and Weekend all shitting on me, calling me an e-dater, and I'm gonna have e-sex and X, Y, and Z. So I called it a night. I banned Weekend, and I was like, you know what? I'll deal with him in the morning. I'm tired. I'm not gonna deal with this bullshit. Bada bing, bada boom. In the morning, when I wake up, in the inner circle group chat, I think it was, he was posting about buying Sydney
Oh
Sweeney's
yeah,
bathwater, and everyone started clowning on him. Okay, it's like, what are we doing? It's over. X, Y, and Z. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up for you. Because
yeah,
I mean,
pull
people
up.
were like
I
really
don't
like
I don't
actually
need to
taken
see it.
aback by it.
I don't
No,
need to see it
okay,
because I
well,
already
well,
know.
okay, okay, yeah. So it's like he's talking about. So he's doing Zins. He's hanging out with the wrong crowd of people, and he's talking about buying Sydney Sweeney's water. And it's like people are just totally. I mean, not only are they concerned, right, for his well-being because the car crash especially, but because he's hanging out with the wrong crowd of people, right? It's like what 3 months ago, 4 months ago when he was still with us. He wasn't with that crowd. He wasn't acting like that, right? There was an obvious change of personality and persona, and people noticed it, and they were concerned, and as was I. And he joined my game, and I told him in game, "Hey, we're concerned, X, Y, and Z," and he just shrugged it off. And it's like he just doesn't care. So it's like if he wants to go, that's perfectly fine. My issue is that he's trying to drag all these other people with him, as if I have an issue with everyone else, right? So it's like I'm not sure what he told you, but this is what happened. These were the facts of the story and why he was ultimately removed from, the upper echelons of the regime. So it's like it was completely justified in the eyes of everyone else there. No one was defending him, from what I can see. Right? So
Well, I'm just gonna say this. What you're saying that what Ozzy and Weekend and all these people are doing, they're no different than other people. I hope you know. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. And plus, it's other people's fault for falling for the constant, hey, start drinking with me. Hey, start doing this with me. That's their fault for falling for it. And if Weekend fell for it, that's his fault. It shouldn't be your business to start judging a man for what he does. Now, I understand what the Bible says and everything, but even then, you shouldn't judge. You should love. All right? Now, the abortion thing, that's a completely different story, and there's no reason for us to start talking about that. But it's completely, I think it's outrageous for you to be judging Weekend for what he has started doing, because after all, he's almost an adult. He can buy and do the shit he wants to. If he wanted to do Zen, even though it was part of Aussie's what influence, then it's what Weekend wants to do. He clearly likes it. He's starting to do it now. If he wants to drink, then he drinks. It's fine. But at least give the guy some consideration. He's doing the shit at home instead of out on the road nearly killing other people. But you're not happy about that. You're more worried about what he's doing now instead of what he is, possibly stopping. I'm not going to
the,
get too
the
far.
concern here is that
Here's the
the
thing:
crash.
he can drink,
crash
he can smoke, he can have sex, but he's not going to do it in our regime. In our regime, he can do it
And
somewhere
it's
else.
like the crash already happened, right? You're talking about, it's not going to happen in the future because he's doing it at home. The crash already happened, right?
Yeah.
And
So
it's like, yes,
you're blaming his
and
driving because he was drinking? No, you're
He
just
wasn't
going a
drinking.
little.
That's
You're
true.
there's
going a
I don't
little
know
probably
what
a
he
far
was.
correlation.
now.
There's probably
This
a
is hilarious.
correlation that if you're drinking and then you're driving, you're probably gonna end up in a
Yeah.
car crash. That's common sense, no?
So
It's
that's
called
even
drinking and
funnier. Now
driving.
you're
Driving
accusing
under
a
the
man
influence.
of drinking and driving when you're halfway across the states and you don't even know. Let alone, hell, I don't know the true story, but
Look, Jefferson, the issue isn't, hey, you're a child, do whatever I tell you to. No, the issue is that we held him to a higher accord. We all hold ourselves to a higher accord than doing these degenerative activities online, right?
you
And
don't even
on
know
top of that, we told
degenerative
him, we
activities.
we warned him. Like we told him beforehand. We warned him, and we gave him the opportunity time and time again. Hey, don't do that with them. Hey, they're a bad crowd. X, Y, and Z. We warned him time and time again, and he didn't listen.
But again, who are you to judge? It's
Oh,
not
here
your
we go.
job. I mean, if you're a Christian, you would know that. It's not your job to
It says in the
judge.
Bible to judge a person based off their fruits. I mean, it's right there.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, it's like we do judge other people, right? Inherently, right? We don't like Kavara
shit happens.
because of his actions. We don't like Ozzy because he's a degenerate. We don't like Leopold. We don't like Weehun because they're two-faced. Like we judge these people inherently. Are we all Christians? Yes, but none of us are perfect, right? And we all inherently judge. That's what we've done since day one, and especially online. We do judge, right? And that's why we held ourselves to a much higher standard than to them. I mean, Ozzy
King
was the
Dodge,
same guy.
I want you to check the chat and then tell me, are these people a good influence?
Ozzy was the same guy that called Weekend a fat retard, and then I banned Ozzy to defend him, right? So it's like this isn't like, oh, who are you to judge and X, Y, and Z. We've always judged them, right? Because they are inherently, frankly, I mean, you compare them, the people in their circles compared to us, right? It's like, yes, we're still just playing Roblox, but it's like we're not doing the degenerative activities that they're doing, right? The difference is night and day, in my opinion, right? And it's like we warned him, we told him, and that was it. I mean, if he wants to talk about it or debate it, that's fine. But what he's doing is hiding and running and trying to bring any these people with him.
No.
And it's like,
not
and
even
like
that.
my quarry is with him. No, it is that, right? If he I mean, he's basically done with Roblox. We all are, right? You're right. We're all losing. We're all growing up. We're losing that time to just waste time on Roblox, right? But if he wanted to, just throw in the towel and leave it at that, then he would. But no, he didn't. He made an announcement in the lounge with on his server. He brought you and Sugar with him. He tried to bring Scott with him, and it was just this whole thing that he made it into, right? So that's where we're at.
I'm more finding this conversation more hilarious than anything else right now. And you don't have to. You can hate me for it because I'm finding this conversation hilarious. That's up to you. I don't give a shit.
That's tough.
But nonetheless, I don't care. I'm done. I'm no longer a part of this. If you wish to still speak to me, I'm still here.
I mean, we'll leave it at that, right? But it's like you got to get the facts here, and I'm not sure what the point of recording this conversation was. I mean, it's like go tell Ozzy.
Yeah, that's the thing. I
go
mean,
tell Ozzy
great
at
job,
Weekend.
King Dodge,
Yeah.
being a great
So,
spy. Good
so
job.
it,
I'm clapping.
so it's like, I mean, if Weekend wants to talk, if Weekend's really curious and he wants to know, it's like tell him not to be a pussy and tell him to talk to me, right? The reason I'm reaching out to you guys is because of him being a coward, him running away.
No,
So it's like,
not,
I mean,
it's not even
I'll leave it
because
at
of
that.
No, you didn't reach out to me and Sugar because Weekend's a coward. No, it's more of the fact you wanted to know why me and Sugar left and followed Weekend. Let me tell you this. I have been more loyal to Weekend and Sugar than I've known you. Alright, I've known you for, what, about a year now? Whenever Greater America started. Wasn't that at the beginning of 2024? Late 2023?
Late 2023, December.
I've known Weekend since 2020. That is 5 years. 5.
Nobody was telling you pick one or the other, okay?
Oh, I
No one
know.
was saying you block Weekend because he's a faggot retard. No one said that. We just kicked him out of our circles. So it's like, I mean,
But here's the thing, though.
it doesn't matter where your loyalties lie, right? No one
listen
told
to
you to
this,
pick
though.
one or the other.
But here's the thing, though. You made Weekend do it. Because you, either stop
Let's
hanging
let
out
the
with
man speak for
Aussie,
himself.
or... Yeah, I mean, it's
No,
kind of outrageous. You judged
no.
Weekend
We
because
told
he hung-
Ozzy, we told Weekend, hey, these are bad people, time and time again. And this time we said the same thing. Hey, we're worried. And instead of taking that concern or actually talking about it, he shrugged it off and called it a day.
Yeah, that means he
So
just
it's
didn't
like-
care. And what does that
I'm
matter
allowed to
to
hang
you?
out with whoever I fucking want.
And it's like we told you over and over again, okay?
Yeah, so here's the
And
thing,
then
though.
and then he acts all surprised.
I want
Why
you
is
to listen to
Patrick,
this.
banning me? I have to
I
take
don't
all
give
my
a
friends
shit.
out of the group.
'Cause
Clearly you do, because you try to get Scott out of there, because you got Jefferson and Sugar out of there, right? So clearly you do give a
Yeah.
shit.
These are my friends.
Hold up, wait.
These are my
Hold up,
brothers.
wait, hold up. So, Patrick, make this make sense. You won't judge me for hanging out with Weekend, but yet you judge Weekend for hanging out with Aussie. How
There's
do
a
you know-
vast difference between Weekend and Ozzy. It's like again, it's
But-
night and day. You look at the actions
that makes
that
no
Ozzy
sense.
takes, and then
Because
yes,
how do I know
yes, it does
something-
make sense.
No,
We judge
but-
people by their
but how do
actions
I know
and
something
compare the
in
actions
future?
of two
You
people,
won't judge
right?
me
So
for
it's like,
hanging
I
out with
mean,
Weekend.
it's
I
just
mean,
so-
it doesn't make sense.
Why are
Yeah.
you meeting up with Ozzy and Richard? Why are you meeting up with
Yeah,
these people?
so do you want to know what happened? They heard I was going, right? No one invited them. I didn't invite them. They heard I was going, and then they wanted to go, right? So it's like, why are you going with them? Nigga, I didn't invite them, right? They wanted to go because I was going. They're following me there. So it's like,
Okay.
you know,
Interesting.
Well, nonetheless, I don't care. Weekend doesn't care. And it seems more of a fact that you care, and in which case I just want you to look at our Roblox names and shows that we are done. We're not part of the Smiths. You can try to get us back, that's up to you, but it's going to be an unlikely event. But we are done. If you want to talk to Sugar, you can, but you know how Sugar is. He doesn't really care either. I mean,
yeah, Sugar's the same faggot that's a first, so it's like, we're not looking much there. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I'll leave it at that. I mean, you wanna drink and piss your lives away, be my guest. I mean, it's like we've held ourselves up to such a higher standard,
again,
right?
you're
We-
judging us
we-
for
we
what
have-
our actions
There we
is,
go,
but
judging.
it's not for
We,
you to
we
judge.
have
even
held
though it's part of
ourselves
human
to a
nature.
higher standards than these other people out here, and then when you go piss in the mud, you degrade yourselves willingly, and it's like you wonder why we
That's part of
are
life.
concerned, why we ask
This,
these
the
things.
degrading and then the regrowth. That's part of life.
Right,
You should
right,
know
right.
that, but yet you
Right.
find that as the biggest problem.
Despite the
ever.
constant warnings, right, about hey, don't degrade yourself. We're warning you. They're a bad crowd. We're warning you, and it's like, oh well, I'm just gonna go piss my life away anyway. So you know what? Leave it at that. You don't care. I mean, you want to hide behind that? Be my guest, right? So
Hide behind what?
we'll leave it
There's
at
nothing
that.
to hide behind.
Well,
The
Nothing to
curtain's
hide.
already open. I mean, at this point, you're making no sense, and I'm laughing about it because I find this all fucking hilarious. All right, I'm gonna be completely honest with you now. This is fucking hilarious.
That's
You
cold.
make as much sense as my liberal friend, and he makes absolute shit. I mean, he's fucking bisexual. I pissed them off because they kicked me from the group chat. That's hilarious.
Fucking hell. Couldn't fucking take it.
That's hilarious. I pissed them off good.
What the fuck did they say?
What do you mean? What did I say? I said
Like-
you're acting exactly like my liberal bisexual friend
Yeah.
who makes absolute no sense when he speaks his mouth, and then I just get kicked. This is the hilarious thing. Even my girlfriend was listening to this, and she's right beside me. This was some hilarious shit. Say it.
It was funny.
Very,
I mean,
yeah.
it makes no sense. No sense, but it's hilarious. And I got it all on recording too. Like, you cannot make that shit up.
I want to see that shit.
Only half. I only got the other half when you I got 5 minutes before you joined about them talking, but literally all they were doing was judging you as a person. And listen to this. Even I don't know if I got it on the recording, but they also started saying that your traffic accident, the motor vehicle accident you had, was because you drinking and driving. I said,
I didn't have a single drop of fucking
and
alcohol.
I literally said, I'm like, now you're accusing a man of doing a felony crime when you don't even know, and plus, let alone you're halfway across the states in California, one of the most liberal states out there. Hold up, is Patrick in California or Washington?
He's in California.
Yeah, so he's in one of the world's most liberal states that has not been red unless it was the Civil War. And he wants to judge you, a person who's in West Virginia, on the other side of the United States, and possibly call you out for a DWI.
You want to see the
which
fucking
makes no
roads?
sense.
You want to see the roads?
I don't
It's
have
fucking
to.
windy as fuck. It's.
Here,
I never had to
give me a
drop
second.
alcohol. I didn't even have a fucking Zen that day. I
Here, we
lost control.
Send me a photo of your vehicle. Send me a photo
Okay.
of your vehicle, because
Let me get my phone.
I want my girlfriend to see this, because she just saw the stitch on your arm, and all I
Yeah.
heard from her was "ooh, ooh."
It was